Imagine a wall, not perfectly smooth, but still at a 90-degree angle. Any movement across it seems impossible. Now imagine a goat standing on that wall. Sounds like fantasy, right? That's why any biologist heading to the movies to watch a superhero film wouldn't be surprised. For them, the Avengers' superpowers and agility are just another Tuesday in the study of the animal kingdom. Our video begins with Alpine ibex, astonishing creatures whose natural habitat is the peaks of the Alps, where they effortlessly ascend to heights of up to 11,500 feet above sea level in search of food. These animals constantly face the challenges of gravity. Imagine, one of them desperately needs mineral supplements, calcium, and salt. The nearest source is a dam. Years of exposure to the elements have made its surface rough and uneven, exposing the minerals. The problem is, this mineral-rich dam is at a 90-degree angle. For most animals, this is an insurmountable obstacle, but for Alpine ibex, it's just another step towards their goal. Even the slightest protrusions become reliable footholds for these elegant climbers. They don't just hold on to sheer walls, they move across them with ease. This incredible agility is explained by their exceptional coordination, flawless balance, and keen eyesight, which surpasses human vision. They instantly spot the necessary footholds and confidently grip them with their unique, narrow, and extremely flexible hooves. Special pads on their hooves allow them to tightly grasp even tiny stones, enabling them to effortlessly lick vital minerals. And this is despite an adult weighing up to 220 pounds. It's important to note that these astonishing skills develop from a very young age. Young kids easily follow their mothers along the most perilous vertical surfaces. Let's move on to other superheroes. For example, Wolverine with his regeneration. In nature, the gift of regeneration is far from unique. Meet the hairy frog, whose defense system resembles a comic book hero. When threatened, this amphibian deploys sharp claws. But unlike most animals whose claws are made of keratin, like cats, these frogs' claws are nothing more than fragments of its own bones. How it manages to extend and then retract these bony spikes without apparent self-harm remains a mystery to science. Many scientists attribute this to the incredible regenerative ability inherent in these creatures. By the way, the phenomenon of regeneration reaches its peak in planarian flatworms. Their ability to regenerate is truly astonishing. Even if you cut a planarian into two pieces, each will develop into a complete new worm. What's amazing is that along with the body, the brain also regenerates, and by all indications, it completely replicates the memory and skills of the original organism. Experiments have shown that planarians trained to respond to light retain this skill even after being cut and regenerating, confirming their unique ability to fully copy memory. We won't even mention Thor and electricity. The animal kingdom boasts true masters of electricity. Most are familiar with electric eels. It's worth noting that these aren't eels at all, but regular fish and close relatives of catfish. They can generate electrical discharges that can be fatally dangerous to humans. However, even more intriguing are electric rays. Humanity discovered their phenomenal abilities back in ancient Rome, where they were used not only as a curiosity, but were seriously applied in medicine, specifically for treating gladiators. This isn't a myth, but a confirmed fact. The ancient physician Claudius Galen, while traveling, stumbled upon a settlement where people would apply rays to their heads to alleviate headaches. Amazed by what he saw, Galen began to study these creatures and, though he didn't understand the physical nature of electricity, he proved their therapeutic properties. It's known that rays even helped Emperor Marcus Aurelius get rid of chronic back pain. Thus, thanks to these amazing marine inhabitants, electricity entered our lives not only as a source of energy, but also as the basis for many modern medical procedures. Their contribution to human well-being is truly heroic. And now, for a second, let's talk about the mantis shrimp. The abilities of the mantis shrimp are so incredible that they effortlessly overshadow fictional supervillains. Think about it. Humans, considered the pinnacle of evolution, have only 4 types of photoreceptors, 3 for daylight vision, and 1 for dim light. Now imagine, mantis shrimp have a whopping 16. These creatures can see in ultraviolet, polarized light, and virtually all ranges of illumination ever conceived by humanity, including infrared, linear, and circular. Their visual system possesses functionality that the most advanced spy cameras can only dream of, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of their amazing abilities. These shrimp are true ocean terrorists, ruthless predators. They usually camouflage themselves expertly in the sand, and then suddenly attack their prey. A mantis shrimp's claw strike occurs at speeds up to 45 miles per hour, and the force of such a blow is comparable to a .22 caliber bullet impact. And all of this underwater, where movement supposedly should be slowed down. But the mantis shrimp doesn't care. It literally tears through the water column upon impact. That's why mantis shrimp unhesitatingly attack opponents many times their size. Biologists have found that the reason for this destructive power is the crossbow principle by which their limbs operate, literally firing with enormous power over short distances. And these creatures also make sounds that will make you shudder. Mantis shrimp roar like dinosaurs. Of course, this roar cannot be heard from behind aquarium glass, but when scientists lowered a microphone inside, they instantly went gray with fright. Imagine that terrifying sound. It's worth mentioning how some enthusiasts try to keep mantis shrimp in home aquariums. Their beauty is undeniable, but the result was always predictable. No aquarium glass could withstand the impact of this animal, comparable to a pistol shot. The glass shattered, and the unfortunate shrimp had to be returned to their natural habitat. And of course, for all who think these superpowers aren't enough, let's talk about tardigrades. These tiny creatures, no larger than a millimeter, are true masters of adaptation, capable of thriving where all other life perishes. Often called water bears due to their appearance and gait, these fascinating invertebrates have colonized nearly every environment on Earth, from the deepest oceans to the highest mountains, and even polar ice caps. Their incredible resilience makes them a subject of intense scientific study, as researchers seek to unlock the secrets behind their astounding durability. Imagine a world where the temperature drops to negative 458 degrees Fahrenheit. In such conditions, neither humans nor most animals would last a second. But tardigrades? They simply enter cryptobiosis, virtually halting all life processes. This remarkable state allows them to survive conditions that would instantly kill other organisms. The Italian zoologist Lazzaro Spallanzani once placed these microscopic creatures in such an extreme state for an entire year. His surprise was boundless when, upon returning them to normal conditions, he saw them calmly revive. He called this resurrection from the dead, and he wasn't far from the truth. Further research only confirmed their unique abilities. Tardigrades easily withstand an hour in boiling water, can go without food for 30 years, and are completely impervious to radiation. For comparison, the lethal dose of radiation for humans is only 500 rem, whereas tardigrades survive doses of 570,000 rem, with only half the population dying. They were even sent into outer space, exposed to the vacuum and cosmic radiation, and despite some difficulties, they successfully coped with this challenge. And some individuals even continue to reproduce. Their ability to endure such unimaginable stress truly sets them apart. It's safe to say, if there is a living creature that cannot be destroyed, it is the tardigrade. No matter how incredible fictional heroes may be, nature always presents surprises that surpass the wildest fantasies. See you next time, friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up.